Hello, I'm Indigo Owl. Apologies for the delay. I've been having some technical difficulties. I really thought this time I had my laptop set up so that I can actually see you and talk to you and read your comments during the live stream. I scheduled for my laptop to go live on Facebook, and it was stuck in one of those loading spirals, I guess you can call it. So eventually I gave up on it, but here I am. As promised, just after 8 o'clock, I'm coming to you live from London. If you're in London like me, you too are practicing social distancing, a whole new term for us to get our head around. You might be still going to work. Maybe you're working from home like me. Maybe your work has closed altogether and you're spending a lot of time at home. It certainly seems to have slowed down the internet connection. But I'm sure it's good enough for this live stream. So I'm very happy that you're here today, whether you're watching live or whether you're watching the replay. Hello. I'm very excited to be here. We're going to be looking at guidance from Friday the 27th all the way until Thursday the 2nd of April. And yes, we're already going into April. So I have I have my Angel Tarot cards back that are very bravely lent to a young aspiring tarot reader after Spirit really urged me to do so, and they were gone for a while, and I'm so happy to have them back. I immediately have re-energized them with some incense. I'm not sure if you can see my incense blowing here. I sent you some of this lovely smell. And yes, I have re-energized these Angel Tarot cards, so we're going to be using those today for the tarot. I also have, and this is the order in which Spirit has picked these cards for me, I have the Temple of Balance Oracle cards. And then we have Diana Cooper's Unicorn cards, or Unicorn Oracle. There's a lovely Pegasus on the back, I believe that's what it is. And then we have more angels. We have the Messages from the Angels by Doreen Virtue. You can see the colouring on the back of these is quite similar. They both have this turquoise, and then the card in the middle has more the colour from the centre. The Angel Daniel definitely has come today. Really wanted to be here. Maybe that's why we have the double angel influence. I also have this amazing orange tulip from my garden. I'm so proud of that. In this beautiful new vase that I've been given. So these are going to be for the 3 theme cards for the week, and there's going to be one tarot card for each weekday. Also, what I started last week might become a tradition. I have my crystal handbook here, and today I have asked my son to choose a page without looking. So we're going to have a crystal to read out as well. I think we'll do that nearer the end. So I'm just going to make some room here. We are going to be reading about a crystal that can help us this week. So let's start. Let's start with this deck, the beautiful Temple of Balance Oracle deck. This is Leanne Peters' first card deck, I believe. Certainly her first Oracle deck. She's now working on her second healing energy cards. The first ones are beautiful, as are all of her cards. So I'm watching her on Facebook, where she every so often publishes the next card in the deck, and they all look amazing. I will buy them as soon as they're available, as I have done with several of her decks now. I love having her art and her spirituality in my life, in my readings, in my work for you. People that have had readings with me all have really enjoyed her cards as well. So let's have a shuffle and see our first theme card for this next upcoming week. this? We have joy. And it says ancient land. Take steps to align with your life's mission and purpose. Don't allow doubt to get in your way. Now, I have to say, I'm going to put these cards aside. I have to say, for me, this card always has a double, like a double the meaning, like an enhanced. The meaning is especially enhanced because Orsala, the name for my business, comes from the last of the ancient runes. My business has been called that since the beginning in 2007. It's the last of the runes, and it means ancient wisdom, ancient land, pertaining to what we inherit from our ancestors, which can be wisdom, but can also be literally land. Now, because it says on here ancient land, and then the message says align with your life's mission. That's kind of twice the same message for me. I wonder what it means for you when it says take steps to align with your life's mission and purpose. This shows this beautiful woman called Joy. Her throat chakra is enhanced in the drawing. I'll show it again in a minute. You can see her blue activated throat chakra, also called Vishuddha. It's blue, and it's one of the things it's really important for is expressing your truth into the world and for yourself. That can be spoken, but it can be in any kind of a creative, artistic way as well. And she looks like she's wearing some kind of a seashell that has some of the other chakra colours in it as well. I'm going to show her again. She looks stunning. So the first card that has come out for the theme for this upcoming week is focus on your life mission, take steps, continue to take steps to fulfill your life mission, and don't let anything get in your way. Let's look at the next card. It's going to be from Diana Cooper's Unicorn cards. I'm going to have just a little shuffle. I've actually cleansed all the cards with incense today. The Angel Daniel really wanted me to do that today, and I had a bit of spare time after I finished setting up. And he asked me to light this beautiful incense that is a gift from one of my Reiki students and circle attendants. And it was called Sensuality, the one I chose for today. So that's, I can still smell that now. It's still burning a little bit. It's beautiful. So I've energized all the cards today, and we're ready to draw a card. Let's see what we get. It feels like a good card already. Oh, Archangel Michael, here he is. Now, I really have been feeling Archangel Michael, especially this evening. And indeed, when we use our tarot cards, they have Archangel Michael on the back, every single one of them. So this is now twice Archangel Michael has already shown up in this reading. And he says, use the sword of truth to help the world. Now, we could say that these two cards kind of have some of the same meaning, because we had here, fulfill your life's mission. And I was saying that this throat chakra, the blue chakra, is especially for expressing your truth in the world. And now we have Archangel Michael, who is of course blue. He isn't, even on this card, has this blue crystal on his shield that looks a bit like this blue throat chakra. I'll show it again in a minute. And he says, use the sword of truth. So we have truth again to help the world. And here, I thought it said world as well, and it doesn't actually. In my mind it did. I made that up. Well, I channeled that, I guess, on this occasion. So sometimes the things, when we link things in our mind that aren't actually linked, when we look again, it's not really there connected in the same way, that doesn't mean we made it up. It may well mean that we've tuned into our inner guidance, into our spiritual guidance. And please don't doubt yourself when you channel these things for yourself. These, what seem to be mistakes, can very well be messages that are coming through for you. So, look at those two cards together. So very much focus on fulfilling your life's mission. Don't allow anything get in your way. If you are having trouble expressing your truth, if there's any blockages or any fear attached, ask Archangel Michael to come with the sword of truth to help you. And then you can help the world. How very beautiful. It feels like a very strong but peaceful start so far for this week ahead. Let's see what our last oracle card is for the theme for the week. And we have messages from the angels. So like I said, more angels. And even from the unicorn deck, we drew an angel today. So angels, angels, angels are all around us. All over the world. They always are there, but they're maybe working particularly hard now, or maybe more people than ever are now open to receiving angel messages, to receiving angel guidance, to allow angels to come in and uplift us and make things easier and help us understand that what is happening is all according to divine plan, even if we don't understand it at all. Well, let's see. And we have a card from the messages from the angels deck. Shall we have a look? Oh, we have Teresa. Okay. Now we have another woman. We had a woman called Choi here. Now we have a woman called Teresa. And twice so far we've got Archangel Michael represented. Teresa says, time out. You've been so busy taking care of everyone else's needs, but now it's time to stop and take care of yourself. I have really been feeling this. Maybe you have too. I've been feeling that need for extra self-care, for prioritizing taking care of myself and then my family, and it feels like I'm winding down work a little bit. I actually have got a couple of weeks off coming up. So as is required in my other line of work, it's required to have regular breaks for self-care. Otherwise, it's seen as irresponsible to work with clients. And I think that applies for all work because we're more likely to make mistakes. We're more likely to not do our work properly when we don't have enough proper breaks in between. So Teresa is reminding us. Teresa is reminding us to take care of ourselves. So this is part of the theme for this upcoming week. Oh, and she's ended up right next to the Angel Daniel. So that means Angel Daniel is offering us to help us take care of ourselves if we find that difficult, if we're not used to it, if we don't know where to start, if we don't know how everything else will still be taken care of when we're not here doing everything. It's easy to get stuck on in that thinking that if we don't do certain things, nobody will do it and everything will fall apart. Usually there is a way to scale things down. If you can't stop completely, you can usually scale things down a bit, maybe do things a bit more slowly, do a bit less every day, be a bit more discerning about what needs to be done urgently. Hello, if you're watching, I'm so happy you're here. I can't see your comments till afterwards, but please say hello. Please share with me what's happening. If any of the reading resonates, I would love to hear from you if you're happy to share. If not, just say hello. That's great. Give me thumbs up, send me some love, share my video. I will upload the video to my YouTube channel at the end. It's called Indigo Owl Like Me. Last week, sadly, it didn't work. I'm having, like I said at the beginning, I'm having some technical problems at times, but most weeks I managed to upload it to YouTube as well. So I'm still shuffling these cards. Like I said at the beginning, I haven't had this card deck for a few weeks. I lent it to somebody who was learning to read tarot, and also used them to raise money for a good cause. So I'm using them for the first time again since they came back only yesterday. And they're needing a lot of shuffle, which means as I shuffle, I waffle. This is what happens. If you've seen my videos before, you're familiar with this syndrome. And hopefully you are patient enough to hang in there and wait for me. And I think we're ready to draw some cards now. Let's see. So we're going to draw 7 cards, one for each weekday, starting from this Friday. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and the last one, this one. Okay, so we have our 7 cards. I'm going to put these over here. So we're going to have Friday the 27th, Saturday the 28th, Sunday the 29th, Monday the 30th, Tuesday the 31st, Wednesday the 1st of April, and Thursday the 2nd of April. How awesome. Let's look at the first card for Friday, and we have 5 of Earth. Earth in this deck correlates to Pentacles in a more traditional tarot deck, which goes with the element Earth, as the 5 of Earth kind of gave away. And it relates to all practical material things in life, and in our society also very much money. Now, many people might be having fears around money at the moment. Some people are still working. Many people are now working from home in some places, certainly in London. Some people no longer have work because their workplace has closed completely, or maybe they're self-employed and are not able to continue their work. So it says on here, fears surrounding money and the wisdom to accept help from others. So if you are in a situation where you don't think you have enough money, or you don't think you're going to have enough money coming in, please do something about it now. Think of all the different ways you may be able to get help and accept help from others. And interestingly enough, the last bit on here, it says, it's uncertain self-employment. So yes, I think that is affecting quite a lot of people at the moment. The message of this card is usually when you are in a time where in the material world things are not working out so well, look to the spiritual world and see if there is any particular spiritual learning happening at the moment, or supposed to be happening at the moment, and that this period will pass. You won't always feel left out. You won't always feel like you're in a weak position on the earthly plane. So try to glean from the current situation what the message is for you, what the spiritual learning is for you, and know that this feeling doesn't have to persist. You can ask the angels, and we have lots of angels here on offer, to come in and help you shift this feeling. Now let's look at Saturday, and we have strengths. Perfect. So the strengths card, the main message of the strengths card is usually you have the strengths needed to deal with this situation. In this deck it comes with Archangel Ariel. Doesn't she look beautiful? And she's riding a tiger. It says, great inner strength, release harsh judgments, and forgiveness and compassion. So instead of harsh judgments, quite likely of ourselves and others, we're supposed to focus on forgiveness and compassion. And that may well be the spiritual lesson that's coming from this. This is how we're being asked to deal with it. And again, Archangel Michael is amazing for protection. So if you really are struggling with a lot of fear at the moment, ask Archangel Michael to support you. Let's look at Sunday. Oh, we have the High Priestess. The High Priestess in this deck comes with Archangel Haniel. She looks ever so peaceful, wise and peaceful. She says, listen to your intuition, have patience, consider carefully what you want before acting. That's come up for Sunday. How interesting. I'm curious now what will come up for Monday. Monday must be the 30th of March. We're already coming near the end of this month. We have 9 of Air. With those beautiful unicorns. So now we have the unicorns that are missing in the unicorn deck because we got Archangel Michael. Now we have the Angel Tarot and there is a card with 9 unicorns on it to make up for all the for all the other ones. So the 9 of Air says here, expecting the worst, self-fulfilling prophecies and sleepless nights. In a more traditional deck, it would be the 9 of Swords, which go with the element of air. And it can sometimes show a woman that's sitting in bed at night because she can't sleep. And she's literally like this. She has her head in her hands. She's that worried. She's convinced everything is going wrong. The words that literally came to my mind is she sings, everybody's going to die. She's going to run out of money. There's not going to be anything to eat. And the message of the 9 of Air or 9 of Swords is often, if only she took her head out of her hands and looked around, she would see that things are not as bad as she thinks. And it is, if you are having trouble sleeping at night, you may find that the things that go through your head, the fears that might pop up in the middle of the night are way bigger than they are during the day. So the first thing to remember, if you wake up at night or if you can't go to sleep at night and you start worrying, is it probably isn't as bad as it seems right now. Let's look at Tuesday. So we've got 27, 28, 29, 30. So that's the last day of March, the 31st of March. And we have, oh wow, more unicorns. And now we have 8 of Air. So we have 9 of Air, 8 of Air. There is no coincidence in tarot. So if we have 9 and 8 next to each other from the same suit, that's a very interesting continuation. The 8 of Air says an illusion of being trapped, a lack of self-confidence and afraid to take action. So we have a card here saying, in this week, it is really important to take steps to align with your life's mission and purpose, and don't allow doubt to get in your way. So don't allow this fear to stop you fulfilling your life's purpose. And interestingly enough, 9 and 8 makes 17, and 17 is the number of the angel Daniel. It's the number of physical immortality and also the number of the star in tarot. I just had to point that out. Let's look at Wednesday, which is going to be the 1st of April. Ha, very good. We have release, number 13, with the Archangel Azrael. The end of a phase or situation, spiritual transformation, and time to move on. Perfect. And I feel that's very much the end of this 5 of Earth that we're going to be maybe feeling on Friday. Will come to an end here after all this fear and feeling stuck. Suddenly will come the big release. I actually thought this card, when I first looked very briefly, wasn't Teresa. I thought it was Caressa from the same deck, which says this is the end of a cycle. It's time to move on. And now here comes the message, time to move on. So I did pick up on the right vibe. It's also the last of those 3 oracle cards, and this is coming near the end of our reading. So I'm very pleased that the messages that are coming in this way are also coming out here. And I often hear things a bit early because obviously I'm channeling spirit for you and for myself as always. It's coming through me to you, but also for myself. And it can help if I get a bit of the information before I start speaking. I'm less likely to ramble on. Spirit says it could be much worse. So let's look at the last card. Let's look at the last card, which is going to be for Thursday, the 2nd of April. And we have Four of Earth. I love it. Interestingly enough, in this reading, we're going down in numbers from 9 to 8, from 5 to 4. However, the 5 of Earth was all about things not going so well. The 4 of Earth says being too frivolous or too cautious with money, but it also says good business decisions and giving to those less fortunate. Now, this was saying uncertain self-employment, and then we're going through the motions. We have to be strong. We have to use our intuition. We have to go through the fear and the feeling trapped until we can finally release ourselves from this big caboodle, I feel like saying. And then we're finally going to come up with some good business decisions, especially for those that are self-employed. If not, if you are employed or if you're not working at all at the moment, this may be to do with putting in place new ways of working things out at home, or putting in starting steps towards a new career. Wow. So beautiful succession here. Very interesting. And like I said at the beginning, I have asked my son to choose a crystal for us. I didn't have enough time to run upstairs and find a little sample crystal. It's quite a common crystal, although there's lots of different versions of it. It's opal is the crystal we got for today. I hope you can see this. In my crystal healing book, and I'm going to read a little bit about what opal does. If you have an opal at home, this might be a good week to use it, to carry it, to wear it, to meditate with it. If you don't have an opal, you might want to get one, although that's a little bit more difficult now. There are some lovely online shops where you could maybe order one. And if you don't want to do that, you are literally encouraged to maybe write opal on a piece of paper and use that, put it under your pillow, or take a print off a picture of an opal on the internet. It says, opal is known both as a lucky and unlucky stone. According to Greek mythology, it was formed out of the tears of joy of Zeus after his victory over the Titans, while in India it was thought to be the goddess of rainbows turned to stone when fleeing from the unwanted advances of other gods. Healing. Spiritually, opal bestows joy in our worldly life. It draws our attention to the more colourful sides of life and awakens the desire for variety and distraction. Well, who wouldn't like a bit of distraction right now? Emotionally, opal strengthens desire, eroticism and sexuality. It makes us emotional, seductive, unconventional, in love with life, and enhances optimism. Also sounds amazing. Mentally, opal makes us light-hearted, sometimes even a little light-headed. It encourages spontaneity, poetry, and an interest in the arts of the muses. And physically, opal has a generally health-enhancing effect because it strengthens the will to live. That sounds absolutely perfect. It says opal is effective when it is carried about or worn, laid on the heart area, and during meditative contemplation. Absolutely amazing. I definitely will be digging out my opal upstairs in a little while, and I will use it this week. In the meantime, I say thank you so much for watching this guidance for the collective. This guidance is for everyone it resonates with. If it resonates with you, absolutely amazing. If it doesn't, please find guidance elsewhere. Use your own guidance, find a different reader. There are plenty of readers out there. I know that I have my own collective, what I like to call the Osala tribe, that my readings resonate with, especially the ones that watch every week. So I'm very happy that you have popped by. I hope to see you again next week. I'm here every Wednesday evening at 8. I will be uploading this video to YouTube, to my channel Indigo Owl. The word's not coming to me that I'm looking for, as long as I'm able to save the video on my phone so I can share it. If you would like more personal guidance,